Good evening and welcome to the next in my series of videos. This one's on Galaxies. While I don't pretend to paint myself as an expert, I generally think of myself as a fairly able Galaxy pilot. Piloting the beast of burden on fast transport on Araxis takes a rather peculiar touch. Most of this video is on general tips about how to move a Galaxy in combat and some handy things you can do to increase your survivability and the survivability of your passengers, escorts, and other friendly Galaxies. You'll notice first that the Galaxy, like all of the other Planetside 2 aircraft, is VTOL. Yes, you're slow, but you have huge flexibility in how you handle aircraft, so stop thinking in terms of just moving forward and turning. You can strafe, move back slowly, sink, and rise with a little bit of effort. And I'm not even using performance upgrades. What I'm doing here is nosing up to the side of the cliff. Friendly aircraft can, using this maneuver, board from an otherwise difficult pickup zone, walking right up to the nose of the aircraft and pressing the use key. This avoids having to use landing pads which may be under fire or trying to land in very congested bases. Very useful in this particular case in this one base on Indar, but not a lot of bases on Amarish as well. You'll also notice that I'm looking around within the cockpit. This is done by holding the middle mouse button and moving the mouse. Minor note, but very handy when it comes to trying to avoid other aircraft and obstacles, as it allows you to see much more clearly above you and to the left and right. The next thing we cover is armament. You really have your choices for seats 2 and 3, but it is mandatory to use a 60mm Bulldog without the thermals or night vision, as I have here for the wing guns, or positions 4 and 5. This gives your side gunners the ability to deal massive damage and suppress fire on enemy positions, and gives the infantry enough time to support to eliminate hold up hostiles. It's great for firing in windows and dealing with encamped enemies. This, of course, brings us to the topic of boarding. As you can see here, I'm waiting patiently to pick up my allotment of troops. A lot of pilots make the mistake of trying to crowd onto a pad all at once, and this usually results in a lot of explosions, other sort of histrionics, and this is even inside warp gates where you can't actually take damage from each other. What I do is I wait here for my friend to fill up. I hop on the pad. Pick up my allotment of troops. And off we go again. No fuss, no muss. Well, aside from a little anti-aircraft fire from the opposing base. Now we come to how to not do a Galaxy drop properly. As you can see, we've got all the Galaxies we need. I think there's about 7 or 8. There's a couple more above and below me that you can't see in this. And I'm making sure that my spacing's good. I'm not hitting anybody when we're coming out to the skydock that you've seen for the majority of this video so far. As you can see, we are in a fairly good line. We're coming in on that. And what should happen is Galaxies should all go right over, drop the troops, move off, and get out of the way for the next guy. That doesn't happen. As you can see, people are trying to land. They're trying to drop their people off in fairly easy, going sort of way. And bunching up, we've already lost a couple of them. And I'm having to make a hard bank and pull out. Now, I've dropped most of my people on target, thankfully. But it's a giant clusterfuck. Guys, please, I'm sorry. This is the only bit I haven't scripted. Just don't do this, okay? It doesn't work. Now we're going to try and do a Galaxy drop properly. As you can see here, we're coming up on the platoon waypoint. Delta 10's in the front there. He's about to bite the dust, but he's been doing this properly. He's been a bit high though. Coming low, use what ground you can as cover. Everybody should drop on their own, as you're seeing now. Take your bank out, full throttle, try not to lose Galaxy, and you can see here, with 30 points.